tonight's lineups brought to you by you, the viewers of Digity/Alpha/CityLink.
Actually, on that starting lineup, it was actually number 4, Damani Hayes.
Right. It's going to come out of our pocket.
You
ready?
Damani Hayes was actually someone Matson talked about. He was one that stepped up last year, and he's going to be a major part in this offense for this year.
Krishan and Roger Anderson going for it. Tip 1 to Schwartz. And Mankato East will get the tip. And they start on the man-to-man. Coffee, the transfer, gets it in. Sam Aarons, who was on that state tournament team. Krishan pull-up shot, first shot of the game. Ball loose and picked up by the Eagles. They'll push it down court. Here we go. Sealed off at the corner here. Landsteiner. He's going to get a bulk of the action here, and so does Dalton Foley. Foley has the ball right now, gets it to Connor Foley. Mankato East going man-to-man, shot up, no. And, well, there's our foul here. We're talking about just watching the JV game and seeing how the officials called the game. I think we're going to see it very tight.
Yeah, I mean, besides just having a tightly called game, there's also a third official out there, which is new to me at least, where I'm used to just seeing 2 only, and so with that extra official, a lot more of the court can be seen, so a lot more fouls.
And on the inbound pass, the Eagles turn it over. 18-minute halves. The basketball formats are changing at the college level, but here in Minnesota, staying with the halves. Nice move by Coffey, can't get it in. Ball tipped. And Roger Anderson has it. New Ulm controls here in the first half.
So far in this first few series, you can just tell Mankato East almost has like a step or two quicker than New Ulm. You can definitely tell the athletic advantage that they hold against New Ulm.
Nussmeier gets called for his first. 2 shots coming up. The first 2 free throws of the game for the New Ulm Eagles. It'll be Connor Foley stepping up. Foley, 6'1", a sophomore. It's off. There's a couple Foleys on this team as well.
Yeah, there's Connor Foley and Dalton Foley. Looks like they could be brothers, 2 years apart.
Coffey with the rebound, no points yet. 2 free throws missed. 6:53 of the first half. Damani Hayes, look for big numbers from here this year. From your freshman year last year, fires up the 3, no good. Nussmeier's in the paint. Gets it back to Coffey. The first 2 for the Cougars are scored by the transfer.
Coffey, that was the guy that was highly praised so far in the beginning of the season, and based off his athleticism and his ability to really drive to the basket, he's going to have a big year this year.
Aarons gets caught for the foul underneath as the rebound came to Foley. First foul on the Cougars. Again, that's just positioning right there, and they'll get 2 free throws.
That's something that Madsen stressed, is having good defense. And so obviously you want to play good, strong physical defense, but you also have to make sure your foul numbers stay low, because obviously if you get too many fouls, you're going to be useless on the team because you'll be out of the game every time in the second half.
Free throw good. 2-2 our score, 16:20 to go here first half. Eagles and Cougars. Krishan gets it on the outside to Hayes. Hayes flings it over. Aarons looks straight along at the 3. It's no good. And a whistle underneath. Talked about the play getting called there. And no question.
Yeah, and basketball at every single level, they're really getting more and more strict on the use of your arms and hands off the ball and stuff. So you have to make sure you're not using an elbow to push off or anything like that. That's
a held ball, a jump ball, as they say. Really, in essence, it's not a jump ball because at this level you don't toss it up for, it's a held ball.
Follows the possession arrow.
Right? 2-2 the score. The Eagles have it in the front court. Yackley now has it. Nice dish off underneath to Roger Anderson. Anderson fouled as the ball was loose, and a loose ball foul on the Eagles here. Another whistle. Second team foul on the Eagles here.
This foul this time was on Dalton Foley. And yeah, if it's anything like the JV game, we expect to see a lot of whistles.
Front court, Coffee. Sam Aarons out to Schwartz. And Aarons backing out. Walm straight up man-to-man. Now Aarons takes it into the lane, off the rack and in.
Aarons,
4-2.
big body to be driving down on the baseline there. Good bucket, nice use of the glass, a little Timmy D action.
Front court Eagles now. 3-point shot on the waist. Landsteiner, it's missed, and it's rebounded by Nussmeier of the Cougars. Outlet, Coffee, nice switch move. Right hand layup, good. And Kashan has got his second field goal.
It's a beautiful finish there by Coffee. Which was good too because Damani Hayes was actually streaking down the sideline and was wide open underneath the basket after they got the rebound.
Free throws coming up. Mankato East will get their first attempt at the line. One shot. And you look at our scoreboard here, we'll work on the capability to update it each time, but right now we're going to keep our scoreboard stagnant. Otherwise, this free throw is good. It's a 7-2 Cougar lead. Front court, now a new player in is Matthew Jonke. He has the ball for the Eagles here, guarded by Hayes. Skip in the lane, pass to the right side. Nice ball fake, missed the shot. Hayes tips it up for Coffee. Krishan going up and a reach-in foul on the move here.
For Mankato East, Uhana Okan, center, 6'5", sophomore, also checked in.
Yep. He is a tall guy. Tall glass of water, as they say in the business. But also, you know what? He has some physical. A lot of times, guys, especially coming into their first year of basketball at the varsity level, need to work on their bulk, and he's worked on his bulk already. Drive by Aarons, and he's fouled. Another foul on the New Ulm Eagles here. That's their fifth.
So 8 fouls already called in the first 3.5 minutes.
What do you think? Are you one of those people that says, hey, it's early in the season, let's not?
I mean, refs do that all the time, year after year. You know, they call, they don't let any teams get away with anything in the beginning of the season. Try to limit it so they change their game of play throughout the season. But, I mean, it gets to a point where you just have to let them play. No team can get any sort of flow if you're calling a whistle every, 20 seconds of gameplay.
Dead ball on the floor here. The free throw is no good. A violation.
Coffee must have stepped into the lane a little too early.
Cougars up by 6. Eagles have the ball. Foley. Landsteiner. And Jonke on top. Back to Dalton. 3 no good. A whistle blows. A push off on the Eagles here.
Make that their 6th foul.
Adam Tyers is okay.
About to be in the bonus here in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Well, and it just disrupts the flow for the Eagles as well. Getting whistled every time. Coffee into the lane. Dumps it out for Aarons. Aarons with the save at midcourt. And there's a near steal. And at midcourt, he slides out of play, and the Cougars will make a substitution with Des Bassett, the football guru.
Des Bassett is checking into the game for the first time for Coffee.
Again, another guy who can move around the court athletically.
He's a junior guard at 6 foot.
First screen from Aarons is Bassett. Hayes way on top of the arc, missed the shot. 8-2 still, Cougars up by 6. again, New Ulm just hasn't had that opportunity yet, just foul trouble. That's all they've had right now.
It really changes the way you play. If you get in foul trouble, you have to start playing more safe. You can't be as aggressive as you like.
Pump fake by Landsteiner. After Jonke has gone the way partly through this half. Bump there as Alex Turner's in. Turner bumps him again. And a blocking foul. Ooh. But again, we're saying it's been tight. Maybe later on in the season that doesn't get called.
One thing the refs are doing a pretty good job of, they are calling these things both ways at least. It's not, being a one-sided. You can see that's one positive coming out of all that.
Inbound goes to Landsteiner. Tries to dump a pass in the corner. It goes out of play. Turnover for the Eagles, and Cougars will get the ball here, and they lead it 8-2.
Another new face in for Mankato East. We got number 3, Alex Turner. He's a 5'7" junior guard. Compared to most of the team, he's a shorter guy, not as athletic as some of these other players, but.
And a loose ball and a reach-in foul called on the Eagles here. I do not understand the call there. No one really had possession of the ball, and they're saying he undercut him. Cougars are happy about that. They'll shoot. One in the bonus already, and we're not even halfway through the period. Does not bode well for the Eagles. Say that in all seriousness, but I also laugh because
it's just a ridiculous number of fouls to be at this early stage of the game.
3 by Dez is off the rim, rebounded by the Eagles, trying to push the fast break. So far, though, the Mankato East defense, as the 3 goes up, at least transition defense has looked pretty sharp, Matt.
Yeah. One thing, both teams they need to start almost more focusing on getting the ball into the paint outside and stop shooting from outside the arc, because as of right now, both teams are pretty cold on the mid to long range jump shots.
That's the 5th team foul on Mankato East here. We have 12 fouls in 6 minutes.
That's the first 3 of the game.
3. It's by Landsteiner. So that equals out about to a foul every 30 seconds. Well, now it's probably even higher.
Get another one.
25. As he collapses down the lane. Again, free throws for the Cougars here. It's going to slow things down, but that's why they have the second half. Turner at the line. Turner, a nice cut though. Get through the middle. It almost seems like though you get anywhere near the paint and you're even touched, it's going to be called. So why not go for it?
And when you got big physical guys like Coffey and Ocon down low on the floor, I mean, if they're capable of shooting free throws, just get them the ball and have them go up. If they go up strong, there's a good chance, they'll get a foul call.
9-5, Cougars up. Yeah, so obviously free throws are going to become a big thing here. And another whistle, and this is on Coffey here. 6th foul on Mankato East. We'll just keep counting.
And that was just even one I was just watching. It literally looked like he stepped in the lane and just jumped straight up to get the rebound. He didn't need to box out or anything. So he was able to get that much higher.
Eagles now coming across midcourt. George Sletta with the ball, gets it out. Landsteiner a 3, no good. Almost had a second 3 there. Inside for Anderson. Anderson in the lane, took his time. Interesting how the lane violation wasn't called. Ochan with the rebound. Ochan coming down big and hard, and a foul. As Sletta.
That was a good foul call.
Well, it says something though when we're spending so much time talking about how the whistles have affected the game so far. It is a factor. There's no question about it.
And when you're a team that's in the bonus already, it's like you can't play as physical as you want. You can't play as aggressive as you want to, because if you do, you're just going to put them to the free throw line. You might give up more points.
Well, it's up to the Cougars to capitalize. 9-5. Haven't hit double digits yet. Second free throw is good by Johanna. Makes it 10-5 Mankato East here in the first half.
Dominic Neusmeyer checked back into the game.
Johnke hands it off to Landsteiner. Tyraghi is now defensively fronting him. Schwartz is back in against Johnke. Dalton Foley. Dalton with the floater. Neusmeyer with the rebound. Great Cougar crowd section here tonight. Nice backdoor feed for Ahrens, and he's hit, and he shoots two.
He's almost able to finish that by, he altered the shot by putting it high off the glass, and is almost able to drop it in.
Don't worry about bonus anymore, folks. That's 10 on New Ulm, and we're not even halfway through the period. Double bonus here.
2 free throws at any single foul called on the court.
Tamani Hayes back in for Mankato East. Joe Madsen, 23rd year here at Mankato East as a head coach. He's made state tournament appearance 5 times. So he knows his way around
basketball court, that's for sure.
And then you have a rookie coach here, at least for New Ulm. Whistle, and what would a possession be without a whistle here tonight?
It looks like now New Ulm is in the single bonus.
So they're catching up.
The thing in with all these fouls, it takes away, it takes away part of the game even for the fans. 'Cause, I mean, as a fan, most fans don't want to be watching a bunch of free throws throughout the game.
Dalton at the line. We're in the clear. Schwartz with the rebound. Front court Cougars, 10:40 to go here, first half. Seems like it's been ages since we started. Long two, excuse me, by Schwartz, but still it's through the net. 13-6. Backdoor cut, Landsteiner, no one home, in the corner.
Nice.
Deflected and stolen by Damani. Ahrens into the paint, no, rebound by Neusmeyer. Contact made.
No call.
Front court. I was almost expecting the whistle to go down there.
Dalton Foley's making some pretty nice passes out there for New Ulm. That was a beautiful bounce pass backdoor on the last possession.
Under 10 to go, and the ball's knocked out of play by the Cougars. 13-6, though. I mean, for all that's happened here, the Eagles are right in this game. And it looks like they can get some threes going. They'll have a chance. 2 shots coming up. That was Yackley shooting 2. 8th foul on East.
Another thing the foul part adds on to the game, it makes the coaches have to manage their players a lot more. Once players start getting more in foul trouble, you have to be giving some guys minutes that they probably wouldn't have got if that certain players were in foul trouble. So it's going to turn into a really big coaching battle towards the end of the game on who do you play and when.
As an official, are you kind of looking up at the scoreboard and saying, holy cow, how did we get here? At some point. Maybe you haven't worked with these guys before, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you'd have to think, it's be like, geez, like this game's taking twice as long as what it should be already. Then it's going to be tough where you're going to change your style of calling mid-game like that. And
Schwartz got the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
So it'll be interesting. Maybe they'll do like a transfer maybe at halftime trying to speed things up or something.
Ben Schwartz at the line. Schwartz is senior. Coach Matson said, you know what, Schwartz going to get a lot of starting here. 5'10", so not amongst the trees, but very athletic football guy. And he's going to have to make his contributions and make his mark on East basketball. Free throws are good, 15-8 Cougars. Schleiman has point now. Foley. Landsteiner with the nice drop. Spencer, we give him space, he'll nail it. 15-10 Cougars. Sealed off the baseline. Thought that was pretty good position if you ask me. But I'm not wearing the stripes.
That is by far the hardest call for any official to make, whether charge or block.
And it's 2 freebies for the Cougars here. Not quite halfway through, but you'll be happy to know that's the, I think, 22nd foul of the game. Of course, you stop counting here.
Yeah, I suppose they kind of stopped counting at 10, so scoreboard is no longer an official count.
Subs coming in here. Foley. So again, Dalton Foley, Connor Foley. Whelan with the free throw miss. So you see both teams now having to go to the reserves just because of fouls. Coffee and Ocean coming back in here in a second. 3-point shot is good by Landsteiner. And keeping the Eagles close, 16-13.
He's so far been really the only offensive spark that New Ulm's been able to have.
Schwartz from the outside, he's got it. Hayes with a nice feed. 19-13, and here's what happens when you let the players
get a little bit of rhythm going in them. Just a little.
Right, just a little. Bump foul on the Cougars. They're up to 9. And it's 1-1.
Get a little rhythm, and it's gone.
Starter Coffee back in. Deshaun started off with 5 points, blazing. Free throw's no good, and rebound by Anderson. Controlled by Ocean.
I can already tell you now, both coaches at the next practice are probably going to have each team shoot 100 free throws.
Nussmeier hits it for the Cougars. 21-13, now they're pushing. Yeah, because you never know when you're going to get into a type of game like this. Just so happens to be your first one.
Yeah.
First live action.
Ball just flew into Damani Hayes' hands on that one.
Ooh, Hayes with the drive. I'm with you. I'm with him on that one. And I'll lean the head in and charge called. So now both teams over the 10 foul limit, and good. We'll even it up a little bit. Full strength. Oh wait, that's hockey, isn't it? 21-13. Cougars up.
Oh.
Shifted the foot here. 7:49 to go.
Sean Coffey.
Haven't had a timeout yet here. Coaches both wanting to play out the string, I believe, Matt. Wait for the strategy till the second half, right?
Yeah.
Coffey has the ball above the arc. Makes a one-on-one move. Now back. The shot from the outside and a foul called. Was that shooting a 3 or 2?
I think he threw out just the 2 points. Shooting 2. Fouls on Connor Foley. Or I'm sorry, Roger Anderson.
Johanna has 1 point here. Steps to the line. Not going there.
See, when it comes down
no,
to it.
They said this was a 3-point foul. little sneaky there. Somebody didn't communicate. George Sleda, Mitchell Cook coming in for the Eagles here.
I think there's been a total of 15 points left off the board off missed free throws by both teams.
Got it. 22-13 Cougars. Still well over 7 minutes to go. And what has turned out to be a pretty physical start to this game. Foley inside. We'll call it jump ball.
A nice spin move by Dalton Foley there to get into really deep into the paint.
Coffey will bring it in. 7 minutes to go. Coffey, three, bang, got it.
I'm almost surprised we don't see Coach Madsen run some more isolation plays. Because it seems like Coffey has just the nice handles and footwork where he would be able to
got the steal.
Really beat guys.
2-on-1, Aaron's up ahead. Into Sleda, and a foul. Aaron's took a shot too. Sam, though, has been really working his way inside pretty well here so far. We're going to have to check the foul totals. That's 3 on Sleda, and Sleda didn't start. He came in well into this game.
We got basically a 4-man swap in there for New Ulm.
J.J. Winters in there, also Jordan Hilsheim. And Connor Foley back in. Cooper Yackley is also in. 26-13, the Cougars up by 13 here in the first half. From Mankato East, traveling violation. Tight call. It's almost like when you have this many fouls and this tight of coverage, you have no room for error here.
No. We got our first time out of the game from New Ulm.
27-13. Back after this. Back here after the New Ulm timeout. 27-13, the Cougars lead it here. Opening game, a section matchup between the Cougars and the New Ulm Eagles. Cougars came in again. Fantastic season last year. Great run at the end of the year. And New Ulm's just starting to rebuild, new coach and new staff. And what a test to come in here and
yeah, it's a very tough first matchup if you're a first-year coach for New Ulm, coming in against a bunch of big physical players that Mankato East has. And so right away you just get a bunch of one-on-one mismatches.
So he switches the defense up here, and now the Cougars, Bassett, Coffey, Turner, Schwartz, and Ocean in the game. Coffey, nice move to the corner, three-point shot is off. Oh, but he hustles after the ball and knocks it out of play.
I think Coffey might have even got his little hand on that.
He did.
Was able to knock it out of Cooper Yackley's hands, which then went off his foot.
About to be on the sideline near the baseline. Cougar ball. 6 minutes to go first half. Basically, we're at 0-0 with fouls if you think about it. Everybody's going to shoot free throws. Double. So really it's almost like you get back to how you would play at the beginning of the game because you already know what it's at. If you get it called, Schwartz made a nice drive, puts it home, 29-13 Cougars.
The one downfall of trying to play aggressive defense is you get yourself out of position, which gave Mankato East an easy drive to the layup to the hoop.
That's off the leg of Cooper Yackley. Turnover and Cougar ball. 5.5 to go here, first half. Front court, Schwartz, one-on-one. Turner pops the three. It's good. 32-13 Cougars, and a double dribble at half court. Eagles getting a little excited about the fast break, but you got to watch the dribble.
3 straight turnovers out of the timeout is not what New Ulm was hoping for.
Schwartz will throw it in. Gets the ball returned from Ihana. Coffee pump fake. Ball nearly tipped and stolen, but picked up again by Ben Schwartz. Turner again with the ball fake. Pulls up inside the 3 arc. Nice strong rebound by Foley, and he'll push it out. First half of action, the Cougars up 32-13 against the Eagles of New Ulm.
That's a 4th straight turnover from New Ulm.
Subs coming in here. (32-13). Mankato East leading. They have the ball. Charter. Hayes. Aarons for 3. Good. 5-13 Cougars. Now they're starting to shoot the lights out from outside.
And Mankato East getting into a rhythm out there on the court right now.
Nice drive again the other way. Foley not intimidated about going right to the rack. You got Dalton and Connor really picking it up for New York. Front court now, down underneath Ocean. Frangerall is in. Nice that 6'5" does for you, huh? Caught the ball high and just flicked it in.
I think this has been the longest period of the game that we haven't seen a foul either.
Oh, it was a whistle.
There's been whistles, but no fouls.
Well, it's kind of what we discussed earlier, too. I think the refs maybe during that timeout looked up and said, holy cow.
We'll let them play a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Just a speculation. 3:16 to go. Entry pass, now back on top. Schwartz open. Can't hit, connected and rebounded.
Because in reality, I mean, there are fouls on pretty much every single possession. It's up to the ref discretion if he wants to call it or not.
Schwartz with the drive, lays it in. Right there, we saw a little bit of hand jabbing, but changing the position of the ball is all important when you're driving in.
Mm-hmm.
Front court, Eagles. Foley, back away 3, no good. Coffee with the rebound, 39-15. This was a 16-13 game at one point, and a travel, yep. What's happened since then?
Well, since then, I
think
think
a 3-point game, and all of a sudden now
it's been a lot of turnovers by New Ulm. You know, double dribbles, travels, just mental mistakes that have been coming out, and Mankato East has been taking advantage of it. Their 3 balls been starting to drop. Their offense has been really starting to click, getting the ball into the paint when they want to, and I think that's really been the big difference.
Here in the first half, the layup up, no good. Nussmeier with the rebound. Matthew Jonke got caught reaching. Something I don't want to get fined. Right? No coaches say that when they're. I don't really want to discuss it. To the advantage of the Cougars, Nussmeier 2 shots here.
More missed free throws.
We talked about leaving points on the floor, and I think we're looking at a bigger deficit for New Ulm if the Cougars are hitting at the line. That one gets the bounce, 40-15. Measuring up the 3, it's good. Connor Steele, where'd he come from? Clutch.
New Ulm's going to need a lot of those to get back into this game.
Cougars in the front court now. Oh, he had the open look. Oh, Nussmeier, nice drive, lays it in. Why not take it? You got a hole. 42-18. Schleman. Oh, the shot blocked by 34. And picked up by the Cougars here in the front court. Minute 25 to go. Down court, Nussmeier wide open. Schwartz found him. Court vision.
So, beautiful pass.
And Schwartz
and a steal.
intercepts. Yep. O'Shawn gets a little move, and Aarons tips it up, but a foul on Sam, I think. They're going to call that on East. Yep. Loose ball and going the other way. Minute 10 to go, 44-18. I think we're shooting 2. There's some discussion as to if this was a player control foul where you don't shoot or an actual loose ball. I think the situation is you shoot it here.
Yeah, I think this is a shooting situation. This was all about position on the court. So
Roger Anderson. Anderson hasn't scored yet, getting the start at center here for New Ulm. Hayes is in for the Cougars. Turner is back in. Anderson's second one is no good. Oh, a nice strip and a layup good. That's one of those things where you have to look up. Yankley puts it home.
Always keep your head on a swivel.
Under a minute, 44-20. Coffee in the paint, good.
Mankato's East offense is clicking. They're not leaving many empty opportunities on offense right now.
Krishan with the rebound, gets it across. And nice steal again, Yankley. Hard effort points there. See if they can convert here with 25 to go. It's Connor Steele with a 3, working against Turner. Now that's, I know you're beat, that's a little unnecessary though for your Turner.
Yeah, I mean,
allow somebody to help you out.
That's just, you gotta move your feet a little bit faster, you know, keep your body in front of the driver. Otherwise, yeah, they're gonna call you on a reach or a hold every time. And like I said, yeah, I mean, they had a 25, they have a, what now was a 25-point lead. Someone will be down low to help you out.
Steele first free throw is good. Connor another one coming up, and it's no good. 18 seconds. They're going to rush up court to Des Bassett. Puts it up.
Gets his own rebound and puts it in. Nice effort by number 20, Des Bassett.
Well, describe the situation with 11 seconds to go. Do you take it when it's open like that? Or do you just say, hey, let's play it out? Apparently Des wanted to go with the latter there.
Yeah.
Staying with the ball, Des.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of taking the best opportunity.
The half is over. 48-21 Cougars at the half. It was a bumpy start, but Mankato East then flexing their muscle, so to speak, and really picking it up at the end there.
Yeah, there's definitely a change of play towards the end of the game. You know, a lot less fouls are getting called. Offenses were really starting to click and actually be able to, run some planned offense. At first, you'd get 2 or 3 passes into a play or something like that, and there'd be a foul called where you weren't actually able to run a play. And Mankato East was definitely able to run some of their plays. They're getting into the paint when they want, getting open shooters on the wings when they wanted. And, yeah, it was a lot different of a game in the last 5-6 minutes of that half.
Jason, Matt will step aside. We'll be back with the second half of action and some stats just a little bit here on Digity. (48-21), the Cougars lead at the half against the Eagles non-conference. First game out of the gates for both teams. What stands out for you, Matt, in this first half, other than the obvious?
Other than the obvious, it was pretty solid defense for Mankato East. Matson has to be pretty, pretty happy about, they didn't give any really free shots to the rim. They always had help defense was there. They made every single shot really difficult. The only way that New Ulm was really putting points up was from deep threes or, really long twos. So they're really making them shoot over the top rather than giving them the lane. And then really good play out of Ben Schwartz. He was really dishing the ball, getting a lot of steals. And he was being one of the really key factors for them, helping run their offense and get them into some sort of offensive groove.
Schwartz 11 points, but 6 assists tonight. I think that's the key number, and I think Coach Matson's, I got my point guard.
Yeah.
Right there. Coffey, though, coming in his debut, 10 points here. Turner has 4.
And the guy I noticed.
Nussmeier was 7.
The guy I noticed on there too was Nussmeier. He had gathering up 8 rebounds and putting some points up there on the board. Where a couple guys from Mankato East are on their way into double doubles for their first game of the season.
For the Eagles, Spencer Landsteiner has 8. But you look at the turnover numbers, 15 for New Ulm, only 5 for East. Big difference there, especially that run there. It was 16-13 we had at the start of the half, really bogged down a little bit by a lot of physical contact, whistles. Then all of a sudden, when the whistles started to be fewer, East went on a tear and forced a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, and that had to have been like just the worst nightmare if you're the New Ulm coach. You call a timeout, try to calm your guys down and like try to set up some offense, and then they go on and do 4 straight turnovers just off like not even passing the ball away, just travels and double dribbles and stuff like that, where that's just stuff that they're just simple mental mistakes that really shouldn't be happening. But then again, it is also game 1. Over time, this team will mature and be able to fix some of those mistakes.
I was going to say one notable player out for Mankato East here, sitting there on the bench, is C.J. Ayers. Instrumental to that state championship run last year. Injured there. Unfortunately, will be sitting the first 2 games out. We're here in the second half. Team switch ends. And Nussmeier knocked away the pass, and now the Cougars up in the front court. Ahrens takes the pass, gets it back on top. I'm amazed, though, too. You talked about how much work they put in off the offseason. There's Coffey. Misses it to Monty. Puts it back. No, Ahrens can't quite control. But take us through what they've been going through over the offseason, some of these players.
Yeah, so a lot of the guys from Mankato East actually have been playing with each other through summer and fall. They've been doing summer leagues and fall leagues. Obviously, they weren't coached by Madsen. They were coached by some parents and stuff. So really it's a lot of kind of self-coaching in a way. They, they just teach themselves. But overall, they're just, the whole aspect of this is to build chemistry. And so, they got a lot of chemistry offensively for sure. And that was where Madsen came in. He's like, yeah, I really want to focus on defense because I know they did all this stuff that's going to help out the offense. So, like, they know how each other play. But typically in those type of leagues, defense takes a back seat to all that. And
Hayes got the swat there on Landsteiner. Ahrens thought about it. He's going to take it. He's got it. Sam with the 3.
And so that's where this team should thrive offensively. They've had a couple seasons now for fall and summer to playing with each other. So if they can put together a good defense, they should be a really solid team down the stretch.
Roger Anderson, the 6'4 senior, puts it in for the Eagles. We're to a 51-23. Again, our score is not going to be updated due to some technical problems right now, but we'll try to keep you updated with the score as much as possible here. Drive by Krishan, and he's fouled.
Like it was Cooper Yackley with the blocking foul. They're calling it on the floor, so Mankato East will be passing it in underneath the basket.
Okay, here comes a smart aleck comment. We've almost gone 2 minutes and no fouls. First foul call in the second half.
Don't jinx us, Jason.
Commentator's curse is one Aaron would say. Hayes, Damani fires the 3, no good. Nussmeier can't control. Ball loose in the air, still in the backcourt. Cougars really ferocious defensively here tonight. And he's out of bounds. It hit the coach in the arm. The ball, that is odd. Coach Tyhurst was just trying to get out of the way of the ball, but he inadvertently touched his player who was touching the ball. That's out of bounds.
You're gonna stand on the court. That's what you get, says the ref.
51-23 Cougars. Jockey, Landsteiner. Collapsing D, a nice lay-in by Connor Foley. Foley is, when he gets some room, man. Schwartz lofts it up, no. Nussmeier off the glass. It's going to be on East. Yes, sir. Probably Nussmeier.
It looked like he kind of had I thought they were going to call him on the swat there he had at the end after he missed his first putback.
Just underway here, 15:06 of the second half. The Cougars lead at 51-25. They led 48-21 at half. Ball deflected off the Cougars there.
I don't think Sam Ahrens was ready for the ball to be chucked at him right there.
It's a funny game, especially when you get underneath there with the ball bouncing every which way, every angle, like that. Coffey knocks it away, and Llewellyn will just move positions more or less down the baseline. Throw in, and Landsteiner drops it off for Foley. Layup good. Foley coming with his boots on here in the second half. But a good pass as well.
After such a good first half of not giving up any drives to the rim, that's 2 back-to-back from New Ulm. So I'm sure Madsen will want his team to stiffen up the defense down inside the paint.
Cougars can't convert there. Offensively, Yackley with the ball. Ball fake. Get the hot hand there. This time Foley can't connect. Rebound Ocean gets it out to Damani. Up for Ahrens. A deuce and a foul. Ahrens has been so aggressive tonight, everywhere.
Yes, he's really just basically throwing his body at the down towards the rim, and basically if you're going to get in my way, it's going to be a foul most likely, or that's where some of these New Ulm players are just going to get down, set their feet, and since he is throwing his body so aggressively, it's going to be a pretty easy charge call.
George Sletta coming in for the Eagles. Also see Jordan Hilsheim. And one free throw for Sam Ahrens, the senior, connects. Out of the gates, man, it was hard to say how we'd see East perform here tonight, but they've been guns a-blazing here. 3-point off the line by Foley. Damani throws the intercepted pass. Front court. He'll shine. Oh, knocked away by Hayes. So Damani, you know, if things don't go for you offensively, you work on your defense, you make the play on both ends, and I think that's what, you know, the Cougars have been able to do here. If you're struggling offensively, do all the little things on the other side.
That was Matthew Janke there with another almost intercepted pass.
Inbound goes to Turner. 54-27. 13:40 here in the second half. Left wing is Hayes, and the ball intercepted here. Foley shoots 2 coming up. Dalton this time, the senior of the 2.
Another foul on Damani Hayes there. And you look up at the scoreboard, you can just see all the players there on the court with multiple fouls. There's Cato East has 3 guys with 2. Damani Hayes is coming out because he has 3. Even on the New Ulm side, almost every player on the court has 2 fouls. So it's going to be a really big coaching game from here on out, having to manage your players.
Maybe it's a good thing, you know, for both coaches in a way, because you have to work on early or late game strategy early in the season. 54-28, Cougars up here in the second period. Leading the way is Ahrens with 15 points. Coffey has 10. Des finding Coffey, a 3, rims out. Completed down for Turner. And Coach Madsen got the timeout? No, maybe not. Did they have possession is the question.
Looks like the near side ref right next to Madsen called the timeout, and then the one ref underneath the basket called it a jump ball.
Travel.
Or travel.
Yep. Turnover. So that's how it goes in the books. But Coach Madsen said, hey, check with your buddy over there. And they got it right. It's actually Madsen who pointed to the other officials and said, hey, check him. Coffey does his best Superman to the corner there.
And that's where being tall has its downfall. Short guy would be able to pick that ball up before he hit the line.
Sub coming in here. Brett Bianchi getting his first action for New Ulm. Here's the outside Yackley, in and out. Dez with the rebound. 54-28. Ahrens front court for the Cougars. Turner now.
One more time.
Ahrens open. You can't leave him open. Just good ball rotation, and New Ulm got sucked in. 57-28.
Aaron's been one of the another key guy along with Schwartz in this Mankato East offense. You know, there's a lot of hype around Coffey and Damani Hayes, but it's really been those 2 guys have been really stepping up for this game so far.
Turnover Eagles. 57-28 Cougars. 2 fouls apiece here early on. So completely different culture in this game almost, as opposed to the first half. 12:15 to go. Still time. If the Eagles can make more plays like that, they might be able to cut into it. Yackley. Oh, Coffey.
I definitely think New Ulm was on the advantage in the first half when they were calling all the fouls. They weren't letting the Cougars get into any sort of offensive groove. They weren't letting, their big guys get really utilized down low. So I think when they were calling all the fouls, it was actually going in their favor. They were able to keep it a game. Like we said, it was 16-13. And then ever since the fouls kind of stopped getting called, it's been Mankato East trying to run away with it.
Yackley has 4 so far tonight in the points department, trying to get the second of 2. He does not. Free throws continue to be an issue for both sides. Getting into rhythm, I think, at the free throw line is important too. 57-28, Cougars now in the front court, running the offense. Hayes again lines up for three, just not going for him, but Aaron's opposite side of the court. Man, 60-28. That's for three.
I believe with the and one, he's put up 9 points already in the second half.
Traveling call on the Eagles. 11:30 to go. Some substitutions for the Eagles as well. There's Damani, the sophomore. Great freshman year. Averaged about 4.5 points a game. Really in that role where you had so many other seniors taking over, but Damani got some precious playing time, especially at state. 60-28. They're all going into a zone defense, Matt. Perhaps the coach wanting to see how they run. Outside, the three is no good. The attempt was by Raggy. Ty is in the game, wearing number 10 for the Cougars.
Aaron's out there, has 21 points now. And only 2 fouls, so he's not in foul trouble yet.
Foley kicks it out. Janke. Yackley. They'll reset to the top as Foley takes it in. Can't hit the little lay-in. And a reach-in foul called against, I believe, the Eagles here, Bianchi.
Volcon has to be a little bit careful there. Would have kept going just a little bit farther. It could have got a technical for throwing the elbows.
Yeah, that's another thing where that type of play is going to, it causes frustration, as you can see here, by having the elbows out. And this is a teaching point, too, where a guy who hasn't played that much in the varsity game, as Damani takes the entry pass, he's held. As Uhana Ocean is learning as he goes here, it's on-the-job training.
I think Damani Hayes showing us a little bit of frustration out there as he's had a pretty quiet night.
10-minute mark coming up. Aaron's another three. That time it's off. Hayes, strong rebound, takes it up. He'll shoot two. 5th team foul coming up here on the New Ulm Eagles with just over 10 minutes to go.
Maybe these free throws could be actually a nice little boost for Damani Hayes. If he can sink both these, it might be able to throw him into a little bit of a groove to help spark his offensive game.
And the first one for Damani tonight. Puts it 61-28 East.
Hana and Aaron's checking out of the game.
Damani now, 2 on the board. 62-28. Eagles. There's a pressure defense, though, by the Cougars on the corner.
The looks up here, I thought it did go off New Ulm's foot there.
Landsteiner takes the inbound. Foley again. Hayes pretty active there. This is where, again, defensively, Mankato East has some guys with long arms, long reach.
Really high verticals. They're able to really jump up there and get in your face, even if they're a little out of position.
Raggy out of position there and a foul called. 4th team on Mankato East, 62-28, and Connor Foley will shoot 2. Connor with 6 points tonight. I don't believe anybody is in double digits yet for New Ulm.
No, I believe the closest is Landsteiner, because he's hit a couple big threes there to help spark the offense a little bit in the first half for New Ulm. And then really it has been Connor Foley in the second half leading the team with a couple nice drives coming right off the gates here in the second half.
62-30, Cougars with the ball in the front court coming up on the midway point of the second half. Dalton reaching for the ball and goes out of play. Well, we've seen most of the guys in that are suited up tonight get in the game from both sides. Now it's a matter of finding out your rotation. Ball deflected off of Hayes. Raggy a three. Damani scoots for the ball. Coffee gonna fire the three. No, it's off Schwartz, and now controlled by the Eagles. Oh, nice job in the entry pass. The Cougars steal.
Hayes and Coffee are just all over the court right now, offensively and defensively, getting rebounds, loose balls, you name it.
Krishan, bingo for three. 65-30, and there's your 35-point margin. And we're under 9 minutes. In the lane now is Forbrook. Excuse me, Schliemann.
Nice save there, Connor Foley. It's almost a turnover on New Ulm, and he's able to save it and just get it off Coffee's feet.
Yes, and the clock is running. It's a running time now. And that would stop if we get under 30 points in the second half. And then it would restart you get up to 35 again. So now the Eagles, it's to their advantage to get the ball moving a little bit quicker, just so they can get more sets in. J.J. Winters in the game, Sleda's in the game. Offensive foul on Sleda here. There's been some physical stuff here as Bassett comes in. But I tell you what, just going back to East and the way they've been moving toward the ball and moving around, if they can keep that up all year, this is going to be a dangerous team.
Yes, for how athletic they are and how quickly they can move, like they're going to get guys pretty wide open. Or if they're able to start Aaron's already showing that they have guys that knock down these outside shots where they can almost make the team almost unguardable. Either you sink it in so you can't drive in with all these athletic guys and the outside guys get open, or you have to spread out the defense and that leaves the lane open.
Into the lane, a layup good. Whelan has got two. Whelan with three on the night. 67-32.
7 minutes to go.
Sleda takes the pass. Janke. Weak side rebound is for New Ulm's taking here. Yackley. Inside. And Hilsheim will shoot.
Another plus side for Mankato East is that a lot of these new guys are getting playing minutes, and so they're able to show Coach Madsen what they have, and so if the time comes, like their name could get drawn a little bit later in the season.
When you're playing the Red Wings and you're playing the Mayos and you're playing the teams that are going to stack up in the Big Nine here, you're going to see Jay Beckman come in for Mankato East. Bill Basuri also in, getting some playing time. Hilsheim free throw is good. 67-33. Front court. Short by Turner. Turner getting some action at point. New Ulm front court. Steele has the ball. Winter. JJ gonna shoot. Senior at the line.
And these free throws are actually an enemy for New Ulm because it takes a lot of time off the clock. The clock is still running even for their free throws.
6:10 to go and counting. Or 5:10, excuse me. Cougars up 67-33. Again, the New Ulm team has to get it under 30 to go back to stop time. But look at the fouls, Matt. No, we haven't hit the bonus yet. 6-6. Quite the difference.
This just makes it even just a more enjoyable game to watch if you're just a fan sitting down, and especially as a player.
First point on the board there for JJ Winter. 67-34. 4.5 to go. Jordan Whelan trying to turn some ankles himself. There's a carry. Cougar turnover.
A couple more new guys entering the game here. DeAndre Moore and number 43, Jay Beckman.
Moore gets the steal. 4 minutes to go. We'll see how this second unit goes for Mankato East. Beckman got the pass, and Jay puts it in. 69-34. Really, it's second unit on both teams. Schliemann will shoot 2. Again, he says to their advantage to get these free throws done quickly.
Obviously not the start. Not the start New Ulm wanted for their season and for a new head coach. And so this is going to be something that, you know, you'll learn things. You know, you'll learn not to stand a little bit too far on the court so he doesn't get in the play.
I don't know, was he actually out there, or part of his body had to be out of bounds?
Yeah, he was, I think he was completely on the court, but because the ball just grazed him, it's an automatic out of bounds call.
Missouri picks up the foul on East. 3 minutes to go, running time.
And with this being the first game, he'll learn things for both teams. They'll be able to figure out, you know, hopefully tweak some things at this week's practice and hopefully improve upon some things for their next game.
Free throw good by Hillshine. Jordan. Cougars now put into the bonus here, just for your information. Ball is inbounded. That's a communication thing, really. If someone isn't looking up, you gotta say, hey, get over there. Tyler Satry is in, number 45 for the Cougars. JJ at 5'8", going up against 6'2", Missouri. Wow, nice little floater. Can't get it to go, but you can tell JJ is a guy who plays with heart, for sure.
Definitely. He's throwing his body all over the court, diving for loose balls.
Not afraid to take him on. It's out of bounds. Cougars will get the ball on the baseline.
That's the type of play that coaches will love to see out of you, even in like games like this where it is almost a blowout towards the end.
Foul there on DeAndre Moore. 69-36. So New Ulm still needs that 3 points to get it to stop time. That's going to be the key here for them. See if they can fight back here and get it down. Otherwise, free throw good. Second one good. And we're seeing Jordan Hillshine getting a lot of opportunities at the line. Sorry. Minute to go, he'll shoot 2. Team 7 on New Ulm. But hey, the guys have got to be loose and excited about starting the season right.
Definitely.
It's on the east end. A little bit further west, some things to work on. And I'm not talking the guys in red. By the way, he was here, wasn't he?
He was here.
Coach Boone of the Scarlets and his staff were here, checking things out. Have a common opponent in New Ulm in the section as well. So here's a 3. JJ Winter, no good. Clock down to 20.
Gets the offensive board.
Spin. Oh. He's going to have to hustle the line here. 10 seconds to go and clock runs. If he makes 2, we go to stop time. It's a race. 3 seconds. JJ.
And they stop the clock for the free throws.
Yeah.
Must be just a common courtesy thing here.
Yep, that makes the score 70-40. Inbound to Beckman. Put it in the books.
Yeah.
Mankato East 70. The New Ulm Eagles 40 here at the start at East Gym. Takeaways tonight.
A lot of mental mistakes from New Ulm. That's what really kind of jump-started the Mankato East offense was, they're traveling, their double dribbles, just tossing the ball out of bounds even sometimes. And so they really just got to limit some of those turnovers and really focus on, this is for both teams, their free throws. They left a lot of points up on the floor. They had a lot of missed free throws. I'm sure both coaches are going to have a talk and have some extra time just spent on free throws in practice. But yeah, for the New Ulm side, just really got to limit some of those turnovers. And then for the Mankato East side is just being able to run that offense good. And hopefully if you're going to take a lot of outside shots, make sure you're hitting those outside shots. If they're not hitting, switch it up, start trying to bring the ball down low, drive to the basket. You're a big athletic team. You'll be able to get a lot of drawn fouls on you. And really, yeah, just focus on that defense, With all those athletic guys, you should be able to play good defense on pretty much any offensive team out there.
We'll take a break and come back, and maybe we'll have some stats for you.